in history with your bitter, twisted lies. You may trod me in the very dirt, but still like dust. Why are you upset with me? Just because I walk as if I have oil wells pumping in my living room. Just like moons and like suns with the certainty of tides, just like hope springing high, still I rise. Did you want to see me broken? Bowed head and lowered eyes, shoulders falling down like teardrops, weakened by my soulful cries. Does my sassiness upset you? Don't take it so hard just because I laugh, as if I have gold mines digging in my own backyard. You can shoot me with your words. You can cut me with your lies. You can kill me with your hatefulness. But just like life, all right. Does my sexiness offend you? Oh. Does it come as a surprise that I dance as if I have diamonds at the meeting of my thighs? Out of the huts of history's shame I rise. Up from a past rooted in pain I rise. A black ocean leaping and wide, welling and swelling and bearing in the tide. Leaving behind nights of terror and fear I rise. Into a daybreak miraculously clear I rise. Bringing the gifts that my ancestors gave. I am the hope and the dream of the slave. And so, wow. There I go.
Hey, y'all. Hey. Happy afternoon. Look, happy afternoon. Good afternoon. Let's see who's all in the chat. Let me get back to the chat. Oh, I see it. Okay. Hey, Kareem the trucker is in the building. Oh my goodness. Thanks for coming to visit us. Okay. Miss Lady Sparkle is in the building. Steph 219. Hey. And Mogi was in the building. Okay. Yes, so listen. Shout out to Miss Maya Angelou. Okay. I wanted to start that out. I felt like that was very befitting for the topic that I would like to discuss. Can you guys hear me? Can we do a mic check? Is my sound coming in good? Oh, I didn't bring my other device in here to look. Do it. Okay. Yes, one in the chat. Y'all can hear me. Two if no. But anyway, okay, sound is good. Great. So we can proceed. Okay, so listen. I know that you guys probably have heard about the Monique and interview on Club Shay. Honey, it was great. I loved it. If you have not seen that, I will tell you that it was an awesome interview. And it didn't even feel like an interview to me, really. It was just it was really good. It was really done well, and I appreciate it. But as you guys know, I'm a Monique fan, right? I always nobody's perfect, and so I'm not one of those people that's going to say, "Oh, Monique has always been right in everything that she has done." But no, I understand that with growth and maturity, and we live and we learn, right? But I always believed in Monique, mainly because I can identify with her values, right? Everybody's not going to, everyone's doesn't. You may want a thing, right? Because people will often say, "Well, you wanted that," or if you want to be doing a certain thing, you gotta go with you have to go with the system. You know what I'm saying? Like go along to get what you want. But there are some people that are just not built for that, right? It's like, yes, like we all have our jobs. We live in America. We have to make a living. So everybody at one point, even if you have your own business now, that there was a time that you um maybe work for someone, right? And so we all had rules and regulations, but even then you would have boundaries, right? You're not going to allow your employer just to ask you to do anything, right? So I can identify that with with Monique. She's always been um a strong black, in my opinion, positive influence, a positive uh representation of a strong black woman. However, we know over the last 20 years, everybody has not agreed with that because there's been things that have been put out, which now a lot of us will say that we believe were like spirit smear campaigns. We know she's been talked about being openly blackballed in the industry and things like that. So she's had those type of hurdles, but all in all, I can relate that exactly, Steph. I can relate with her as well because I stand the way I stand up for myself and the way I'm willing to uncompromise, on certain things as well and demand my respect, right? And when a person is wrong, people have a problem with accountability. People have a problem with truth. And I just wanted to point out a few things because I know everybody watched the video, but I just wanted to hit on a couple things that I found to be quite interesting and quite enlightening, even for me, right? Because even with me being a Monique uh fan, right, and always standing behind her and believing that there's more to it, and I felt like she got a raw deal on a lot of things, and of course, once we learned out more and more about things, you know, sometimes everything ain't all it seemed to be, right? As we know. So I want to, well, child, first of all, let me just say this. As you guys know, I did a little play. Hold on. I want y'all to see my background. Let me take myself down. Well, y'all seen the thumbnail. I had that same thumbnail. I did a video and I used it on purpose, that thumbnail, because I had a video when the Monique and DL Hughley show was happening, and that and they got into it, and they had their public thing, right? And so a lot of things that were said in that video, and uh, you know, and it's just interesting that after um Monique's interview, I feel like, as you can see in my title, DL Hughley reacts or overreacts, and that is a question. That is not an indictment. That's not a statement. That's a question. I'm not making that statement. You know what I mean? We're going to review it together. And let's see. Right? So I want to let y'all hear. I want to let you hear D.L. Hughley's response to Monique, or his reaction, right, to her, to what she said about him in the interview and everything. Right? So I want you. I'm going to play a little audio. I ain't fooling with that video stuff. I mean, with that video stuff no more, honey, because they be doing me in. Um, I have a banner up here, so before I take it down, I want to just read this to you guys, um, because I feel like it's fitting. Yeah, you guys know I'm all about inspiration and all that stuff, and I'm a softie when it comes to like poetry and stuff like that. But I think this is very befitting. And it says, "One day, I decided that instead of continuing to put band-aids over bullet wounds, that I would clean and mend my wounds, even if it meant that it hurt for a while before it got better, because I knew that it would get better." Right? And I think that a lot of what Monique said in there reminded me of this. There comes a time where you want to stop just putting band-aids on your wounds. And she did speak in that interview about she wanted to live the rest of her life free. Just free, just, and tell the truth, and and stand in it. And whether she other people stood up to their end of the bargain, whatever, she had to remain true to herself. So I think that's very interesting. Yeah, definitely, Steph. He came off a little angry to me as well. Okay, I'm just saying, dude. I don't know what that was all about. He went in, and and he even tried to accuse Monique of exposing the fact that his daughter had been, something had happened to her. With I'm not going to go into that too much, but we know. And he was the one who said it on out loud and embarrassed his child. It just triggered Monique. It triggered a lot of people when he said that, and he expressed the fact that he did not believe his own child, his daughter, about his best friend molesting her. Right? He said that, and I had to apologize to my daughter. And then most people are thinking, dude, what do you mean? If anything, you believe your child, and if it comes out not to be true, you apologize to your friend because they're the adult, right? So anyway, it was just a lot of innuendo in that. He seemed a little angry. But guess what? I remember that. So he can't listen. And yes, exactly. She will not let the industry piss on her leg and tell her it's raining. Not right. Not even for, a check. Yes, she wants to her notoriety. Yes, but she wants it the right way. And, and she wasn't willing to just do anything to get paid. I can respect it. Some people can't. Some people feel like that you should do anything for these people for a check. Not me. Can't be me. Okay. So let me take me down. Oh, they got all these new fancy gadgets on stream, y'all. Okay, here we go. I'm going to do the audio from D.L. Hughley, because this is one of the things I want to talk about, but I want to go ahead and get this audio out the way so y'all can hear a little bit of this, honey. So here's the D.L. Hughley and his response. First reaction, right, to Monique.
Almost like Wendy Williams didn't go anywhere. She just got a waist set. And so Monique was on. Every time I see Monique these days, she's on doing some greasy ass video with her and her daddy complaining about something or working out. I don't know nobody that work out that much and gain weight unless every crunch you do has got Captain in front of it. But apparently she goes on Club Shay and tells the story about how she came on my radio show and I wasn't there at the time. And my co-host Jasmine Sanders played a game that we played all the time with everybody called Would You Rather. She apparently was so offended by that she said she got off. She called me. Monique did, and she said I was very dismissive, like, Monique's a liar. When Monique did call me, I heard her complaints, I listened to her, and I pulled the segment. So if I had been as dismissive as she alleges I was, that segment would have aired. It didn't, because I respected her wishes. She's a liar. It also befuddles the shit out of me. Almost like Wendy Williams didn't go anywhere. She just got a waist set. So Monique was on. Every time I see Monique these days, she's on doing some greasy ass video with her and her daddy complaining about something or working out. I don't know nobody that work out that much and gain weight unless every crunch you do has got Captain in front of it. But apparently she goes on Club Shay and tells the story about how she came on my radio show and I wasn't there at the time. And my co-host Jasmine Sanders played a game that we played all the time with everybody called Would You Rather. She apparently was so offended by that she said she got off. She called me. Monique did, and she said I was very dismissive, like, Monique's a liar. When Monique did call me, I heard her complaints, I listened to her, and I pulled the segment. So if I had been as dismissive as she alleges I was, that segment would have aired. It didn't, because I respected her wishes. She's a lot.
Now let me say this. Hey, Sagittarius Queen is in the building. Hey, my boos, my moderators are in the building. So y'all heard what that was the first part of D.L. Hughley's response. So he's calling Monique lie and all that. But also, okay, that's not how that happened. It's amazing how, you know, people will come out and say something, but we all watched this go down. At least I know I did. He did not air, because so what he said, essentially said, was Monique is a liar. She's saying that she was offended by my show and I corrected it. And because of her wishes, I respected her and I didn't air the show. But no, that's not what happened. What happened actually was that D.L. Hughley was going to air the show. Monique asked him not to air the show, and he was still going to do it. And she had to get her attorneys involved, and they issued, you know, I don't know if you call that a cease and desist, but they issued legal paperwork to bar him from airing the interview, right? So, you know, I guess sometimes people use wordplay, but I'm just filling in the blanks here so that we'll keep this in perspective, okay? Now, here we go again. Next one.
And she encouraged everybody. Allegedly, it stems from the fact that I used to always talk shit about her on video after video, and she encouraged her sweet babies to look at the video and find them. Do that. Do exactly what she says. And you know what you're not going to find? You're not going to find any evidence of that, because Monique is a fucking liar. She's lying about that. But what you will find is Monique talking shit about some alleged contract dispute we had. Look at the ticket. It says D.L. Hughley, then Monique. She knows the story. But what she did in response to that, she talked about my dog, my wife. This broad even brought out my daughter's personal trauma. My daughter was molested, and Monique brought that shit out and told the world that I allowed my daughter to be raped in front of me. The lying motherfucker. She knows she was lying. And it only stopped when everybody from my family checked her. It's interesting. You know what else you won't see Monique doing? You won't ever see her with her family, videos with her children or grandchildren, because nobody fucks with me. How do you have sweet? And she encouraged everybody. Allegedly, it stems from the fact that I.
Okay, that's his. Babe, can you shut that all the way, please? Put the door shut. Okay, sorry about that, y'all. So that was the second part of D.L. Hughley's little rant, honey. But baby, he goes on and on.
It's
so
interesting.
Here we go.
You know what else you won't see Monique doing? You won't ever see her with her family, videos with her children or grandchildren, because nobody fucks with me. How do you have sweet babies when your own babies don't fuck with you? How do you love us for real when there's no evidence of anybody loving you for real, except your daddy, who you apparently have to pay? And
hold on, y'all.
And FYI, daughters are paid for by daddies, not daddies who get paid by their daughters. You know what else you won't see Monique doing? Telling jokes. Monique, if she'd have spent as much time actually writing jokes and writing her Netflix special as she did complaining about not having one, it wouldn't have been trash. It got the worst reviews of any Netflix special in history, because that's what Monique does. She complains and she has grievances. You never see her being a human being. You never see her being sweet and warm to people, except when she's using it to butter somebody up to get something. There's a reason why it's interesting. You know what else you won't see Monique doing?
Hey, Mickey. Yeah, his reaction is a bit interesting, right? That's why I titled it "Reaction or Overreaction." Okay, and so I think it's one more part, and I think this is the last part. I hope I'm trying to keep them in order, y'all, so I don't
playing about not having one, it wouldn't have been trash. It got the worst reviews of any Netflix special in history. Because that's what Monique does. She complains and she has grievances. You never see her being a human being. You never see her being sweet and warm to people. Except when she's using it to butter somebody up to get something. There's a reason why everywhere she goes, shit starts. Everywhere she goes. How is it that nobody fucks with you? Not even your family. How do you... Or I was on the road, get it. I get it every goddamn week. Look at my schedule versus yours. See how much I'm going. And I still manage to have a relationship that I cherish with my children. Can you say the same? You can't. Because all you do is talk about your grievances and who did you wrong. There's a reason you're by yourself. There's a reason you got to pay a man to love you. It's sad. There's an old adage that says you can't buy love. It's a shame, Monique, that you probably always will have to.
Yeah. So I think it was 4 of them. I might have played one of them twice, but either way, that was his response. And so I wanted to go ahead and get that, honey, get that out the way, right? He said that Monique is only always doing some type of greasy interviews, and y'all heard what he said. We don't have to go there. However, I did a video on this channel, and some of you guys were probably in attendance, okay? And this didn't go down the way D.L. Hughley is trying to make it seem. But, you know, it is what it is. So that was his response. But we're not going to belabor the moment on the negativity. I just wanted to get that out the way and put that out there. You guys can make your own determination on the D.L. Hughley thing. I'll keep my opinions to myself. I hate that men, that not even men, black people, period, that we go to such personal attacks and stuff when apologies were made for all for stuff back then if it went too far or whatever. But he's the one who told those things about his daughter. I want to keep stressing that. So yeah. He said on the Breakfast Club that his marriage hasn't always been good. Did he forget? Right. Yes, he did. He forgot. Yeah. Kareem, he forgot all the infidelities that he's had on his wife, all the cheating scandals that he's had. He forgot. Right. He said nobody will ever love Monique. I mean, that's kind of deep, right? Just for her asking him to make something right. Like, I don't even think she personally insulted the man on the interview. I thought the interview was good. I thought Monique did it with class, but she spoke her truth. And I can respect that. I can definitely respect that. Okay. Now, another thing that I found very, very telling and interesting that I like. I just want to hit on a couple things that I liked about Monique's interview, right? That I thought was interesting. So, first of all, let me say this, that I think that this interview was very therapeutic for my soul, for whatever reason. The interview was almost 3 hours. I literally felt like it was over in 30 minutes, and I was wanting more. When it got to the end, I looked down like, what? Like I you know what I'm saying? I could have I could have keep hearing that conversation for a long, over and over. You feel me? DL comments about Monique reminded me of something I recently was listening to about the Sapphire caricature. Also, Dave walked away from 50 million because he said he didn't want to be controlled. So is he difficult too? Right. Exactly. So Monique had valid point. Listen, and she's standing on her truth. I seen a couple people do some videos that was like, Monique is out of her mind. Some men, of course. It's like, Monique needs to give it up. She's crazy. It's been 20 years. Why she's so special? She should have just promoted for that Precious movie and she wouldn't be in this problem now. And Like, how crazy is that? You know what I mean? And it's other, and it's our people, you know, that look like us, that, you know, whatever. But anyway, I felt like, and another big thing I took out of that is that uh not everybody, and I'm one of them people, and I can clearly see that Monique was not willing to compromise her soul for a check. And everybody do not appreciate, you know, everybody doesn't respect that, because they look at her and say, well, you want to be, to do this, you want to be an actress, you want to be a comedian, you want to do specials, you want to make money in Hollywood, but you don't want to play by the rules. And I feel like Monique is simply saying, listen, I want to be treated fairly for my talents. That's all I want. I don't want anything more or less than anyone else. I would like to be treated fairly, and I'm not going to accept anything less than that. Right? And I can appreciate that. Monique says that basically, you know, the way she was looked at was like, hey, listen, you are, and the reason why she was received, and the things were put out on her about being difficult, and it was so easy to believe. It's like how dare you complain? You're already a big black woman. You should just be happy that you got a seat at the table. She lost a lot of money behind Oprah and Tyler, and people want to tell her to let it go. But if somebody owed you, had cost you 20-30 million dollars, would you let it go? Could you, you know what I mean? Even to a certain extent, where she's, you know, it's like, I'm not necessarily going to beat them down about it, but every time I have a chance to speak my truth, I'm going to speak that truth, because that is my truth. And it's about time that we get back to truth telling. Okay. I hope 2024 is 2023 was a year of exposure. Hopefully 2024 is a year of getting back to telling the truth. What's wrong with that? Our community used to value the truth. I'm talking about the black community, right? We were raised that, you know, the truth shall set you free. But now a lie will be rewarded and the truth will get you canceled. So make that make sense, you know? So Monique also spoke on how she, you know, you get tired of swallowing that pain, because what it does is create, and it's a lot of us black women that are walking around now, we have anxiety, we have depression, because we stuffed we've been in traumatic situations, we've been in a lot of us, right? And have experienced a lot of trauma, whether it be in childhood, through marriages, or whatever. And all that stuffing, what that creates for us is problems as we get older. A lot of us suffer from depression and anxiety now, and it's because of not dealing with that pain. That trucker girl, let Sarkonos. Do you want me to tell you what, girl? Come closer, Sarkonos. Let me tell you where I seen Kareem at, girl. Why he ain't been over here? And I don't blame him. I don't blame him, because he was over here in this beef sector. But you know, no, not over here, because we're not in the beef sector here. I misspoke. But girl, you know he was over in that beef sector, and it wasn't nothing but, you know, the community, right? And he is a straight man, and so he's been over there with the big booty hoes. Did you hear me, Sarkonos? I hope nobody else heard me. I was just talking to Sarkonos. Cream has been spotted over there with the, you know, word. Absolutely. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think I done seen, you know what? You know, Kareem, hey, you know, you my bro. You know, you my bro. I wasn't, you won't say nothing? Good. You know, you my bro. I ain't want to bust you out like that. That's why I had to whisper it. I wasn't going to, listen, Kareem. I didn't want, listen, that's why I whispered it. She's like, where he do? Girl, where you think he been? He been over there with the big booty hoes. Okay? Because not that he, you know, he's a man of integrity of anything, but it just makes more sense, right? As a man. That's all. Now stay out of his business, Sarkonos, okay? Don't say nothing. But that's where he has been spotted And he just and he's loving it. He be just as happy as a lark. but but Kareem did he did his time over here. Okay, he back, he gonna be over here rocking with the Cupanistas and all that. But you know, Kareem said, "Listen, yeah, I know you missed us. You probably didn't miss that other shit though, honey. So you right where you need to be, right where you know, right where you need to be. Absolutely." But I was a little bit concerned because I had to watch you for a little while because you know my girl, you know what I'm saying? You know, wifey, I will tell. I'm a snitch, Kareem. I tell. I ain't on the bullshit, okay? So I had to see what you was doing, and it seemed all very innocent, all very heterosexual, mannish. You know what I'm saying? This is exactly what. Yeah, of course. Who wouldn't want to? Who want to be you know what I'm saying? A bunch of people in the community. We missed you too. We did, Kareem. But I was missing out. I was I was checking on Sam. Ain't you? Isn't it Sam? Right, Sam, baby. Not checking on her. I was checking for her, honey. I was like, but he's still a man of integrity, y'all. So let me just tell y'all that our brother Kareem, but he definitely is kicking it where he needs to be. I agree. I agree. That's it. That would be the type of crowd more conducive. No, I mean, but you got to Kareem now. Now I'm giving you all these accolades, but that means you better start showing back up over here on my channel. Okay. Now all the other stuff you can skip. Oh yeah, and then oh, our team. But anyway, I got sidetracked with Kareem's shenanigans, honey. So where was we at? Oh, you will promise. Thank you. Oh, cause I know your secret. Yeah, you better be over here now. Cause I listen. Your secret is safe with me, Kareem. As long as you keep coming, I won't tell your secret. Your secret is safe with me. But guess what? All right. Okay. Anyway. Hey. Y'all funny. I was laughing. Okay. Another thing. So I think did I yeah, that that Monique was, she, we get tired of swallowing that pain, that toxic pain, right? And she wanted to be free. She wanted to live. She said she wanted to live the rest of her life just standing on truth, knowing that she's told the truth, she stood on right, and that's that, and there's a freedom in that, right? Yes. And oh, another thing I want to talk about. A lot of people have a problem with Monique's husband, Sydney, right? They say, why do we always got to see Sydney with Monique? Why does he always have to be in on meetings? Why do every time she going somewhere, he's there? Well, first of all, he is her manager, and I listened to what she said, and it opened my eyes because even though I felt like, hey, my husband is my backbone as well, and he supports me in everything that I do. I said, sorry, y'all. Okay, yeah. So I went to oh shoot, hold on. I don't know what just happened there. My thing blinked out. Okay. So I got to talking about that. Gotta work. We'll be listening in the skybox. Okay, thank you, Steph. So listen, I thought about that. I thought about what she said because even even though I am a big Monique fan, I always felt like she was telling the truth and she was being real, right? And that she was being blackballed and not treated fairly. And I felt like she had every right to keep standing on it, that she did not need to settle if she couldn't live with that. I wouldn't do it, right? You have to do what you have to make decisions that you are able to live with based on it doesn't matter what anybody else is going to think. So with that, her husband, right? So even I'll be like, why? But listen, and you know, I listened to her interview, and I'd also listened to her Netflix special, and basically, I she spoke some truths that even opened my eyes. Right? It's like, is it because we are not used to that? Right? So first of all, having a strong black woman stand up for herself, you know, even in the against the machine, against the Hollywood, you know, these powers that be, and then also have a man that she says is her everything. I mean, don't we all want that, right? Not like he's controlling you or anything, but he's her protector, her healer, her best friend. Like the story of her husband, they were best friends for years and years and years and years and years before they even, you know, had started a relationship. So I, I agree with her. It's because people are not used to that. Because the thing is, every artist, comedian, actor, entertainer that goes to have meetings with people about jobs or contracts or anything, they always have representation. These stars do not travel by themselves. They have an entourage. They have their manager. They have a personal assistant. But all because um knowing that, hold on, Chipper, you threw me off. Baby, Chipper always, baby, Chipper the air. Hold that thought, honey. Um, you know, it just, but they always have representation. So why, if her husband is her manager, right? Then why shouldn't he be there when all stars go? You know, that they have their managers and stuff there, right? Is it because they know that they're not going to be able to get over on her, that they're not going to be able to give her less than, right? And then actually um the dynamics that they say they have, she's the more hot-headed one and he's the more mild-mannered one. And you know, he keeps her level-headed, you know, so to speak. They got a good thing going. And again, I agree with her. I think it's that we're not used to seeing anyone standing 10 toes down for their black woman like that. You know what I mean? Um, and it looks odd. And maybe we should get used to seeing that more because black women have not had that backing, but we should, right? And I don't see anything wrong with her husband standing with her because he should. And if people ain't trying to screw you over, they shouldn't have nothing to hide from your manager, even if he is your husband. Oh, okay. So Chipper says, coupon therapy. Hey, you. Why would Monique marry her openly gay best friend, knowing it would be an open marriage for him to be with men? Well, I have never heard that, Chipper. She he was her best. I don't know if he was openly gay. Um, but even okay, so let's say I don't know, allegedly, but let's say Chipper, even if he was, right? If that's the choice that they made and they felt like after because Monique said that she's had two marriages and all that, if they felt like they would be better together because maybe he's bisexual and maybe she's able to accept. I don't know if her husband is gay. I mean, you know, people have said that she has denied it. He is openly gay. Okay, well, but he also is bisexual. He has a wife that is happy with him, right? Their situation works. So men marry women that are openly gay women, right? And then they marry them, and you know, women can go both ways. So I don't know. I don't know. All I can say is maybe that wasn't a deal breaker for her. No, whatever, that doesn't make it bad. That doesn't make her decisions bad. That just makes that a choice that she made for herself. Just like I would say, I wouldn't marry anyone that was openly gay, right? I got a right to say that. Monique has a right to say, if that's the case, allegedly, that she's okay with that arrangement. And we can't judge that. That doesn't make them bad. Where's the wrong in that? If she decided to marry her openly gay best friend and they decided to have a life together for the rest of their life, where is the wrong in that, Chipper? I mean, that's their choice, right? Just like people have a right to be openly gay, other people have a right. She said on her Netflix special, she had a female secession. What the heck is a secession? I don't know what a female secession. What is a secession? Turn that I mean close that door. No, close the door all the way. Take that off the door. Yeah. Anybody know what a secession is? Okay, you said Google it. It's been out there for years. Well, either way, Chipper, guess what? How they live their marriage. What again? If they decided to do that, um, okay, so mint situation. I'm running my notes. Oh, a female situation for years. Oh, yeah, yeah. I heard that. I heard that. But if it may, but hey, listen. Sometimes, listen to just think of all the listen. Think of all the people that had traditional things of marriage relationships that we think are traditional that are absolutely miserable, divorced, hating each other, unhappy. Listen, I feel like you have a right to love who you love. If men can love men and women can love women and marry women, then a man and a woman can choose to love each other on whatever terms they choose to love each other. Yeah, yes, she did speak on it. She spoke about how she had struggled with her, homosexual urges on some level, right? For years, right? She didn't go. She kind of left it off. Kind of left it kind of ambiguous about how far she had gotten into it, whether she really experienced it. But she did kind of say that at least at some point she alluded to the fact that she either stopped or she didn't get too deep because she felt like that may get out of control, or maybe that just didn't work for them anymore. I don't know, but I'm not here to judge her sex life or her husband. I'm just simply saying that I can appreciate that as a Black woman. We ride hard for Monique. How is that? No, Chipper. How is so? Listen, how are we riding hard for Monique by saying that? Okay, if that's the case, then we can say that people ride hard for other people, right? Because all we're saying is she got a right to love that man however she want to love that man. That doesn't make her a bad person. If they want to have a threesome in their bedroom every single night, that has nothing to do with the issues that she's speaking out about, the way she's been treated, and anything. And I do like her, but I don't see how what her husband does has anything to do with anything. It has nothing to do with anything. Because if we can respect same gender loving relationships, and we can respect non-binary people, and we can expect trans women and trans men, then we damn sure can respect someone else for having their thing on. I don't know, but I feel you, Chipper. Okay. So, and also another thing that have I got to my hour yet? No, 45 minutes in. Okay. I got some time. I need to go onto my YouTube on my page on YouTube real quick. Okay. So what I also thought was interesting was that, Shannon Sharp asked Monique what the difference is, what she thought the difference was. Oh, well, first of all, he started out with how he felt about the incident with Taraji. Um, about Taraji, and the whole thing that came out with the color purple thing. So she spoke on that, and she spoke very highly and lovingly of all those women in there. And she said she could sympathize and empathize with them. And he asked, well, what was the difference? He said, because you've been saying this same thing, years back. And Monique said, it just seems like the world has a hard time seeing a strong Black woman, especially with a strong Black man on her side, right? And it's almost like the world is more comfortable seeing a Black woman broken than a Black woman standing strong and standing up for herself. And I kind of agree with that. Maybe we are as more comfortable, with that. Maybe we would have been more comfortable. Maybe Monique's message would have been received a little bit better if she was crying and acting like the damsel in distress instead of standing strong and saying, listen, I know my worth. I'm not going to let y'all play me. And, it is what it is. That doesn't mean I'm wrong, because I can speak strongly and speak up for myself. So I think there was definitely some uncomfortable truths in that. Also, another difference with Monique be naming names, honey, and people get uncomfortable, dealing with you when you name names, especially in Hollywood, when you have to deal with a lot of people have to deal with those same um people. And and also I also feel like Monique also didn't get a lot of support from uh fellow her fellow co-workers and actors and actresses, because it's like, especially Black ones, it's like, oh, don't say too much, you don't want to do too much, because look how they whoop the hell out of Monique. you know I definitely uh am I was glad to hear that Monique was satisfied and felt like her and Lee Daniels relationship had been mended, and she felt like he was genuine. So I felt like that was, I love that. I love that. If nothing else, you know what I mean? They got back to it. She said that, that they were able, because he took accountability, and she was able to, they all were able to take the accountability that they needed. And Monique was able to resolve that. Um, okay. Um, what else? I hold on, Chipper. I see you, baby. I believe that Oprah definitely is disconnected. Maybe not even on purpose, right? But and that might be almost, yes, T.S. Madison, and it's amazing. And you can see how the machine worked, right? And Monique was so graceful. She didn't send out any, she didn't even hold a lot of grudges to the people who had promised to work with her and stood her up, because she understood possibly why they did that, right? Yeah, I can applaud anybody telling their truth. Chipper, you said, why did she lose the radio show in Phoenix, Arizona. I don't know. Listen, she's not the only one that a show has ever been canceled, right? Her BET night show. You have to understand there was a big machine working behind her, right? And working against her. So when the right people got to say the right things, you can lose anything. That is what the being blackballed kind of consists of, right? And there's only a few gatekeepers. We know they're real. So, I don't know. It's not that many black opportunities for black people in Hollywood anyway. So I don't know. I don't look. I don't know exactly the details, Chipper. But are you trying to say that she's so bad, being that Baltimore slick shit and networks ain't having it? Being that I don't agree with that. No. Monique got done wrong because she's a strong black woman that does not fit the bill of what Hollywood wants. Okay, she's a black woman from Baltimore, poor black heavy set woman, and no, she was not perfect, but who is, right? So why beat her over the head for all the little things? And look at what all the rest of these demons and devils have done. I disagree, Chipper. Baby, but I already started this out telling y'all I'm biased. Don't come from my Monique. Do not come from my Monique, because you're gonna have to fight me about her. I mean that, okay? And even though slick back wig Oprah and twisty tail Tyler Perry as well, I'll fight them about Monique, because I stand on truth. Period. It ain't even about the thing. It's about the truth. And the truth of the matter is, them people lied on her. They cost her millions of dollars. Millions of dollars. And I even heard some people say, well, regular black people shouldn't even care, because why should we care? And oh, that's revenue. That was money for her family. And everything that they promised that lady, that they didn't give it to her, And again, I'm not saying Monique, nobody is 1,000. I have been wrong. I am wrong a lot of times, okay? I don't mind standing in my ish, but demanding money on the back end after contract is signed. Google it. Okay, all right, I'm gonna Google that. Nope, Tyler lied and said she was hard to work with. Right, but then behind her back, nobody ever, no studios outside of that lie. And that's another thing I'll say, Chipper. Name where they said she was hard to work with. Who actually said that before Tyler Perry put that lie out, right? Before the lie got started by the powers up here, right? That can change anybody's mind. Before that happened, where was it said that Monique was hard to work with? I did back then. The first time I did a story on this, I tried to find that, and I never found any controversy really. But beyond, she was like Rose, you demand your contracts when you're doing stand-up. But I'm saying after that crossover, before she got so-called blackballed, no one said that it happened in Phoenix way before the movie. So you're saying that possibly because she was because she was unhappy, or felt like she may have been cheated out of her contract. Now you do realize, Chipper, that most of the time when they give black women, black people in general, mostly black women, then black men, these contracts, they're not fair and we're underpaid, right? So just because she realized what her worth was and she went back to negotiate more, that makes her slimy? Are you kidding me? Why? Oh God, Chipper, don't get me started. Anyway, guys, listen. I just wanted to talk a little bit about that. I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here because my family's calling me now. I got another. I still want to do my toxic series, but there's just been so much going on with my mom being here now. So I'm gonna have to get on off of here now. But I do want to come back and talk about that. You know what I mean? And talk about just a little bit more, and maybe we'll open a panel. But not only this, it'll be more than just this story, because I have a couple things that I want to talk about. Right, exactly. I mean, was that the Will Packer situation? So if you're speaking about the Will Packer situation, Chipper, then that's not how that happened. I did research the Will Packer situation, and that's not what that was. They changed her contract. Is that what he was talking about, Steph? I don't know what Phoenix meant. Was that Will Packer? I think it was. But that was because they violated the contract. All right, Sarkono. See you later, babes. Okay, y'all. Yes, we rocking with Monique, point blank to the period. All right, peace, y'all. I'll be back. We'll come back and chop it up. I gotta go.